report. So in fact, that's really the question. What can be done? How can we find strategies? Well, in the UN Global Report, there are many strategies. It also talks about the prevalence of ageism, the impact on individual and society. And somebody who knows all about that is Alana Margaret, who's the head of the WHO's unit on demographic change and healthy aging. So Alana, please tell us some of the findings of this report.
Thank you very much, Claire. So first, what I'd like to know is, have any of you actually ever felt or been told that you are too young or too old to be or to do something? Age is, in fact, one of the first characteristics, along with our gender and race, that we tend to notice about other people when we interact with them. It is one of the main aspects also on which we categorize people. Ageism is or refers to how we think, so stereotypes, how we feel, our prejudice, and how we act, discrimination, towards others and or ourselves based on age. We are not born ageist, but it starts early and it reinforces over time. Children as young as 4 are aware of their own culture's age stereotypes and prejudice. And then these stereotypes are internalized and they are used to guide our feelings and our behavior towards people of different ages and towards ourselves. But ageism takes different forms across the life course. It's very likely that you have experienced at some time, like Ida and Rosario, ageism. You may have been ridiculed or made fun of because of your age. You may have been denied access to healthcare because of your age. You may have been denied a job because of your age. And the report found that ageism is in fact everywhere. 1 in 2 people, or half of the world's population, have moderate or high ageist attitudes against older people. And those rates are much higher in low and middle income countries. The report tells us that you are more likely to be ageist against older persons if you're younger, if you're male, if you fear dying, and if you're less educated. You are more likely to experience ageism if you're older, if you're care dependent, if you happen to live in a country where healthy life expectancy is much lower, or you're working in one of the sectors such as high tech or hospitality. For younger people, unfortunately, we have much less data. But in Europe, which is the only region for which data is available on all age groups, younger people report more age discrimination than other age groups. Being female means you are more likely to be a target of ageism against younger people. You may ask, is ageism harmful? It is both harmful and it is costly. Ageism is associated with earlier death, poorer physical and mental health, including the onset of depression. It's associated with social isolation and loneliness, taking more risks with our health, such as eating an unhealthy diet, drinking or smoking, and poorer quality of life. But ageism doesn't only affect us as individuals. Ageism devalues or limits our ability to benefit from what both younger and older persons can contribute. It erodes the solidarity between our generations and has serious economic consequences for individuals and for society. Ageism is harmful in itself, but it also exacerbates other forms of disadvantage related to sex, race, and disability. But the overarching message of the report is really optimistic. We can combat ageism. There are 3 strategies that work in reducing or eliminating it. policy and law, educational activities, and intergenerational interventions. Policy and law can address discrimination and inequality on the basis of age and protect human rights of everyone, everywhere, at all ages. Educational activities can enhance our empathy, dispel misconceptions around different age groups, and reduce the prejudice by providing more accurate information and some counter-stereotypical examples. Intergenerational interventions bring people together from different generations and can help reduce the intergroup prejudice and stereotypes. These, in fact, are some of the most effective interventions to reduce ageism against older people, and they're showing great promise for reducing ageism also against younger people. Where possible, the report advocates that these 3 evidence-based interventions are implemented together to maximize impact. The report has 3 recommendations that we can use and must use to end ageism. We need to implement and scale the 3 evidence-based strategies that prevent and tackle ageism. We need to improve our data and research to gain a much better understanding of ageism and how to reduce it, particularly in low and middle income countries. And we need to change the narrative to create much more positive and more accurate narratives. Culture is fluid. Look at the change that women have experienced in the past decade. To conclude, ageism affects us all. Ageism is everywhere. Ageism is incredibly harmful to our health, to our well-being, and to our economies. But ageism can be combated, and we all have a role to play in challenging and eliminating it. Join the movement to create a world for all ages. Thank you.